Russia has backed the UN nuclear watchdog's plan to set up a three-way meeting with Ukraine aimed at ensuring the safety of Ukraine's nuclear power plants. Well, Russia has agreed to the talks in principle, but not to the suggested location at Chernobyl. Well, last week, a building at one of Ukraine's 4 nuclear facilities caught fire. Russia launched an attack on the premises. Russian forces now control the plant, with Ukrainian staff working under their orders. Well, the director of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi, stressed the urgency of holding talks.
There is no way, I said it today, we should not be losing time. Almost every day there is a new episode. The episode last Friday on the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant was extreme, perhaps, but there are some other episodes which indicate that we need to have an agreed, clear framework of what is supposed to be done.
Well, joining us now from Vienna is Gawara Muhadzanova. She is a nuclear non-proliferation and disarmament specialist. Thank you so much for your time. We heard and we understand that communication was disrupted on Sunday at the Ukrainian power plant that was seized by Russian forces. What more do you know about the situation?
Hello, thank you for having me. What we know is mostly from the reports by the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is receiving information from the Ukrainian regulator. So they reported that the Russian forces had switched off some of the mobile networks and internet connection, which severely complicated the ability of the power plant staff to communicate with the regulator. And the IAEA has expressed a particular concern about the situation. Latest reporting indicates that mobile phone communication is still on, but there are some quality issues. So not all of the information that needs to be communicated between the power plant and regulator is getting through.
Now, we are understanding that a third plant is under threat. What's Russia's motive behind seizing another power plant?
Well, Russia is waging a war on the entire country. It's taking territory, so power plants happen to be located there. And, you know, Ukraine is operating a very large, peaceful nuclear program. That's basically, I think it's just part of the taking territory process. Another aspect, however, is nuclear power plants are critical infrastructure objects. They have implications for electricity supply for the country. 50% of electricity in Ukraine is generated by nuclear power. So, of course, it becomes strategically important to occupy these objects.
Strategically important. How worried are you that security protocols are not being followed and that the situation could potentially get out of hand?
From what we know, the staff of nuclear power plants in Ukraine remains at work, and they are doing the best they can under the circumstances to maintain all the safety procedures. But of course, it's a very stressful, very serious, and dangerous situation. The Chernobyl power plant staff has been working without changing shifts, and that's sort of creating additional risks. But on the brighter side, the report from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant indicates that the staff is able to rotate. But there are issues with communication, there are issues with food supply, not to mention the overall situation of being under military rule of an aggressive power.
And my final question...
So they are doing what they can, but it's a difficult situation.
Very, very difficult situation indeed, as you outline. There has been nuclear signaling by the Kremlin. What do you make of that?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by nuclear signaling. I know they've issued some completely baseless accusations of Ukraine allegedly pursuing nuclear weapons or building the capacity to acquire nuclear weapons. Absolutely nonsense accusation in that regard. They have also said that Ukraine would blow up a subcritical facility in Kharkiv and blame it on Russia, whereas reporting from the regulator indicates that the Russian forces have attacked deliberately or as part of generally shelling the city of Kharkiv, the neutron source facility at the Nuclear Research Center at the Kharkiv Institute of Physics and Technique. So it's I'm not entirely sure what Russia is doing other than trying to escalate its misinformation war and indicate that somehow they have some justification in the aggression that they've launched against Ukraine, and they're not providing any proof to back it up, and it's not something that I would take particularly seriously.
Gawar Muhadzanova is a nuclear non-proliferation and disarmament specialist talking to us from Vienna. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.